I want to thank you for the show. If I had princess power when I was a little gay boy trying to figure out if the world would accept me, seeing King Barton and Sir Benedict Blueberry as gay dads would have changed my life. Um,
Thank
so,
you. That's
yeah.
awesome.
That makes
Thank
us
you.
so happy.
You're
that
making our day.
We're literally like, I didn't even respond because I was like, oh, it makes me so happy.
Oh.
Yeah, it's so easy to connect to like my kid self and think about all those gay boys and queer kids who need to see people, live a good life as adults, knowing you can get there. So thank you. Savannah, you wrote the book this series is based on. Are those characters based on any gay dad royalty that you know?
No, actually, I just think that once we went from book to the show, we were trying to expand the world in every way you can imagine. And so having these characters and having more ways to be inclusive and colorful and let any individual who watches, boy or girl, say, I see myself in this character or that character. You don't have to see a carbon copy of yourself. You just have to see an aspect that you connect with and that tells you you're accepted. And I think that's really in the DNA of the books and now the shows, and it's so meaningful to us to be able to do that.
My hat's off too is like with our other producers, Ali and Ember and Netflix, there was a lot of time spent like how do you turn the books into a show and how do you expand the characters? And there was, the way I felt about the books, like I did grow up on things and characters and humans and themes that made me believe as a young girl that I didn't have to become a boy, or as a young woman, trying to make films like Charlie's Angels, like you don't have to try to be a man or take men down. Like for me, it's like, how do we love everyone? And how do we, make everybody feel? And I was like, it's funny the way I saw Princess Wears Pants. I feel like Netflix and the producers also were like, whatever that spark is for you, how do we expand upon that? So I think that that's really, really important because the green light to believe in yourself can overpower your own thoughts and insecurities or confidence issues. There can be things in the creative world and the human realm that just make you feel like you can do it. And I'm like, these books seem like that to me. This show, I hope, is that for people, because that is exactly what happened to me in my life through other characters or roles I got to play or stories that I was told. And it is who I am today because of it.
Oh, that's beautiful. Thanks for your thoughtful answer. I'm already getting the wrap, but I don't know who to talk to. I'm supposed to have 9 or 10 minutes with you both, and I'm supposed to write a piece, but they're already giving me the wrap.
Oh, I don't know.
No, keep going.
Do your 9 or 10 minutes. Do your thing.
Okay. All right. Okay. Thank you.
Especially after my long, drony, unarticulate answer.
We have to give shorter answers.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much. With book banning and the don't say gay laws in school, as I was watching this, I'm just thinking this is a really scary time to be an LGBTQ plus kid in America, which makes, I think, this even more poignant to have this representation. With that in mind, what do you hope this show says to those LGBTQ kids who might be really trying to figure out if they can just exist in this world?
Yeah, it's simple. You belong. You're here too. We see you. We're all part of this one community, and we all want to work together to make this a better world. And that's what I think is really the engine of this show. How can we work together? How can we see each other? How can we seize on the uniqueness of each individual and find the strengths in that, and where we have our challenges and our weaknesses? Where can we make that deficit up by having an extended hand, asking for help, receiving help, getting help? And I think that's really what the show is all about. I hope that it's empowering. I hope that it feels embracing. And I hope that anybody who watches it feels like they're seen. Again, even if it's just one aspect of themselves that they recognize, even in like the silliest way. I always remember growing up, and when I saw Katie Couric on TV, I kind of felt like I understand her. As growing up, I didn't have perfect hair. I didn't look like a certain way. I didn't know that I could make it in this business the way I was. And when I saw how Katie did it, I knew that I could. There was a place for me. So even in that little narrow sense, I can't make a comparison, but I do understand the power of example and the power of seeing yourself and believing that if that person can be there, if they can be accepted, then maybe I could be accepted as well.
I also think Netflix is such a global platform. And the more we get into how everybody functions together, and sometimes that's difficult from a pandemic standpoint, or it could be something like storytelling is for everybody to actually, since the beginning of man, we have been trying to tell our stories. Every person has a story. And I love a platform like Netflix. I love the world you created in the books. They're worlds for everyone that include everyone and trying to speak and reach everyone. That is the things I want to be a part of.
Beautifully said. Yeah, I mean, you're part of a big wave, actually, of content with inclusivity and representation. Do you feel good about where we are right now when it comes to making sure that we're checking those boxes and including everybody in these shows?
I feel like there's always more work to be done. You can never rest on your laurels, but I think you also have to acknowledge progress and be grateful for that and keep it going, and more than check boxes, but with joy and love and curiosity, be pursuing that more welcoming world and that more inclusive world. I think that's the aspiration, and we should never give up on that.
Yeah. I know it sounds naive, but I just want people to feel like who they are and where they come from, that they're accepted, and I know it's naive, but it's how I was born and raised, and it's how I'm going to keep living my life. Even if people have dramatic differences, I'd like to find the core that brings us together. People love a good joke. They love their families. Everybody eats cereal. What is it that actually brings us together? So as divisiveness can rise or come and go, what is it that brings us together? And I want to focus that way in to the human experience. And that's the most important thing to me.
I am gonna wrap with just one last question here. Thanks for your time. I really appreciate it. I'm thinking about conversations that can come out of this show between parents and their children, especially parents who might have trouble with maybe some of the gender approach, right, to what a girl can be in this world, or what a gay boy / gay man can look like. What do you hope those conversations might look like?
I mean, I just want to say that as someone who has a lot of aspirations in the world, not ambitions, I have no desire to be powerful, like none of that exists. But I know that I have a fire inside of me that I can't extinguish. And much like you were talking about seeing someone else that made you believe, when I look at you, Savannah, I see someone who can do it all and talk to every single type of person out there and hold their own with a conversation or hold people to it or get excited about something. To me, it is what you do is joyful, it's serious, it's meaningful, it's, you do it all. And that is how I see people, that we're not just one thing, that we are so many things. And can that be encompassed in one person or one story? To me, with Savannah, it is. She is totally someone who I think does it all, and I really admire it, and I'm so attracted to it. Not in a creepy way.
I just hope that this gets, that people feel like seen and embraced, and that it starts a conversation. And that's the most that we can hope, for putting something, I hope, good into the world that will make people feel loved.
Yeah.
And give them a tickle and something to smile about. Above all, you have to be a good show. It's for little kids, So it's like the kids aren't looking for a TED Talk. They want a good show that's fun and entertaining and adventurous, and I really hope that it is that.
Kids are not looking for a TED Talk.
They're not.
Or 40-year-old men who still desire to be the princess that they wanted to be when they were a kid. I'm just saying.
It's funny. I mean, that's what we think about the parents that are watching. So if you liked it, then that's good too, because parents are just as important. You're the ones who have to watch these shows with these kids.
And the ones who have to raise them.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Take care. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Bye-bye.